Andy, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Just before we look forward to the visit of MK Dons this week, just looking back at last Saturday, a bit of a game of two halves. You were disappointed with the first half. You felt we were a bit better in the second half, but ultimately not quite enough.
Yeah, exactly that. I thought first half they'd come and done a job on us. We wasn't ready. We conceded so early. It's an uphill battle, and then we just couldn't get to grips. Credit to them. Disappointment from us because we haven't really started like that, and it completely threw us and caught us by surprise. Second half, yeah, I know people say it's a game of two halves, but I always think it's easy to play when you're 2-0 down, as weird as that sounds. I think it's when it's 0-0, you've got to have the courage and be courageous to make decisions and do certain things on the pitch. But it was a better performance second half for sure.
And you made it clear that you weren't happy with that first half with those four changes at the break. Have players been knocking on the door this week?
No, I've not had one player knocking me door, which is good. And look, the four changes I made, I could have made 11 changes. So I don't want people thinking the four changes were the ones that were ultimately the worst players on the pitch. They wasn't. I could have made 11 changes. Look, that's gone. That game's gone. We've had learning from it ourselves, real learning. We've had a good week. And we've got to move forward. You know, we've got to get our heads around as a football club. We are going to lose games. And it's the manner we lose them that's the important thing. The first half manner we lost that game wasn't acceptable. The second half manner of how we went about it, trying to win it back or get back into it, that's more acceptable. So we've just got to make sure we keep learning on the job and keep making sure we progress as a football club.
Bad weather conditions outside this week and today. How have the boys been in training?
They've been good. I've got an honest bunch of players, and as a manager, you can't ask any more than that. We've got a group of players that don't shy away from the situation sometimes. They're probably too honest sometimes. And Monday they was back in and we had a meeting like we always do. We discuss certain situations, criteria, and what's expected and what's not expected and what we got right and what we got wrong. And then we've been at it all week. That doesn't mean we're going to get a result Saturday. It doesn't guarantee anything. But I know one thing, that my players are giving me everything. Every day in training, every training session, every match. And that's what we've got to, that's what we've got to sometimes just accept.
And one of your players who's been given everything but been doing it behind the scenes is Carl Jenkinson, who's been really stepping up his recovery. And it's been brilliant to see him, particularly today, out on the pitch doing a bit of running. How's he doing?
Jenko's great. He's got a target in his head, which I won't share with anybody, but that's great. He's got a target in his head of where he wants to be back on the pitch. If he meets that target, brilliant. But Jenko's the ultimate pro. If you give me a team of Carl Jenkinsons with the way he's professional, the way he conducts himself, it'd be brilliant. So yeah, Jenko's a real great person to have at this football club.
MK Dons, the visitors to the Copper Jacks this Saturday. Of course, two tightly contested fixtures last year and a lot of investment over the summer. A side who are doing well at the moment.
Yeah, I think last year's results mean nothing this year. I hate to say that. They're a completely different animal, completely different beast. They've spent absolute fortunes in comparison to where we are at. And let's be honest, they're the out-and-out favourites for this game. You know, they should be. They've got riches and players that we can't even cope with in that respect. But I guarantee you one thing, we will be at it Saturday. And we will make sure that we will do everything possible to get a result for this football club.
Ticket sales are flying for that one, so anyone who wants them needs to get them quick. And that backing will be really important, won't it?
Yeah, it's a game I think a lot of people are looking forward to. So I'm hoping that we can go out there and do what we do best when we need to pull out a result or we're the underdog or our back's against it. We seem to dig in deep and, let's hope Saturday is that situation for us.
You're wearing the Together Against Racism badge, and this Saturday's match against MK Dons is our dedicated Together Against Racism fixture. We caught up with Alex Dyer earlier in the week for his experiences. It's really important, isn't it, as a club that we join this initiative and stand up to racism?
I think it's important as a football club. I think it's important as a sport that we do that. And I think as a nation, we've got to start doing better in general. So, and that's right across the board. So it's something that we all support, we all believe in, but we must make sure we don't accept.
Andy, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.